All right, buddy. So what's your name and where you from, man?
Hey, my name's Caster, aka Batman. I'm from Oxnard, California. It's about 45 minutes away from LA, and it's in Southern California.
Okay. And I like to look at you like my homeboy rapper Mike. I don't know if you've seen him or not, but he's got a lot of wisdom and he knows. He's got a lot of knowledge and stuff in his mind, and he really puts it out into words where you wouldn't hear the normal or average person speak. You know what I mean? So,
Ooh, I feel you, man. Not only the way we articulate ourselves, we try to relay reality, but it's what we reflect on, man. Like our society is encouraging us. It's encouraging us. Sorry about any notifications, Buzz, and I apologize. I'm not tech savvy, okay? Kind
yeah,
of behind the times, homie. But check
yeah,
this out, man. In all reality, man, our society is encouraging us to complicate life and to distort it into a foreboding, crushing, ominous jigsaw puzzle. And life is not that, man. Life can be simplified, but as a society, we're encouraged to idolize certain individuals in positions of fame and power. And those individuals, man, they'll do whatever's necessary to maintain those positions. They're not real role models. So it's kind of like a cycle, man. And it's not a productive or sustainable cycle. And a lot of people will be like, man, I don't want to hear this shit. Whoa. This ain't satisfying or entertaining. But we know that reality is necessary, homie. And if you can reflect on reality, there's no substitute for genuine confidence, peace of mind, a solution based point to our existence. But because of those false role models and the way our society revolves around profiting off of misery, depression, angst, division, you know what I'm saying? We're not able to snap up out of that thought process. We're not able to develop solutions regarding all these world destroying cycles, all this misery and restlessness and depression. You don't even hear people stating that. It's like the elephant in the room. But 85% of our population strung out on alcohol, Xanax, antidepressants. Majority of people are not coherent, or they're not genuinely confident. And we're not even acknowledging that, let alone developing a solution regarding it. You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's articulate. I guess that's the best word. And that's why I wanted you on the show because you have been locked up. What was the place you say you've been locked up at? The county?
Yeah, I caught a 211, which is a robbery, on my 17th birthday. And that's when I landed myself in juvenile hall. And it was a felony, So I got a year in juvenile hall. Judge was trying to throw YA at me, but it was the first felony I ever got arrested for. Luckily, I didn't get the 5 years or 4 months in YA. Instead, I got a year in juvenile hall. I got out, but I was caught in that probationary cycle. And even though our system's unfair, bro, it's corrupt, it's unfair, okay? It's not designed around solution or equality, bro. It's sustainability and unity. It's not what it's revolving around. But regardless of the system being unfair, at some point we have to stop providing ammunition that can and will be utilized against us. There's
Yeah.
peace of mind and continuously evolving. You feel me? So they want us complicating life, repeating our mistakes. They want us to be prideful of our mistakes and defensive of them, perform mental gymnastics to justify and rationalize. That's what I was doing. I was caught on that probationary cycle. I kept going to county jail because of probationary. And it's weird, bro. Like when you're in juvenile hall at age 18 or some shit, and you're an adult technically, but because you're on juvenile probation, I found myself in juvenile hall as an adult. That was strange. But then once I hit 19, I was violating, that's county time. You don't get to stay in juvenile hall then. And I was relieved to go to county to see some camaraderie. I'm technically a Southsider, you feel me? So to see that we were united in there, we weren't always like juvenile hall gladiators, always at war with each other, at each other's throats. To see the unity to some degree, man, that's I think what started me thinking, and also vowing not to repeat my mistakes, man. I knew the planet was being destroyed. I knew evil people in power were designing things to maintain their positions, but I was still stuck in that trap. I mean, I felt like I could somehow rationalize trying to escape reality with carga, heroin. That I was predominantly a heroin addict for years. You feel me?
Uh huh.
And I rationalize that shit. But the sooner we let go of the mental gymnastics and we realize that this planet's not an invincible playground, dog. It's not built, it didn't manifest from thin air for our entertainment and satisfaction. The planet can and will be destroyed, bro. So when the point to our existence starts to tie into something more important than just our entertainment or satisfaction, sorry about that, man. I apologize.
You're fine, man. You're fine.
Oh man, technology, homie. Take years off your lifespan, bro. But
Yeah.
check this out. In all reality, this is better, dog. Life is better than what they're making it out to be. And they're trying to convince us that we don't possess anything internally. Like, is if you're not famous, you don't have a bunch of resources and opportunities handed to you, then you got nothing to lose. Just try to become famous and try to satisfy yourself until you die a pointless death, and that's life. That's not life. Life's better than that. Life can
Yeah.
be simplified. We can learn from our mistakes continuously, and we can encourage our fellow man to do the same. And throughout that process, we acquire a solution based point to our existence. And there's no substituting for that. And we can stop this planet's destruction by encouraging those people in power to recognize what they're missing out on, man. They can't replicate or simulate genuine confidence, peace of mind, purpose, but they're trying to. It takes us, we as the masses, to unite and evolve alongside one another so we can basically put a stop to those world destroying cycles and offer them a genuine version of that. I mean, a sustainable, fulfilling way of life. But regardless, even if we don't stop the planet's destruction, even if we can't stop evil, all that matters is we chose to be a part of the solution.
Yeah, that is. You know, it all boils down to, you did the right thing. Now, see, this is how I look at it. I see where you said something about sustainability. People want to sustain what they've already got, the image or whatever. And, that's how I look at it. A lot of people look at it like the elite or whatever they want to say. I believe it's not their major thing to do, to their plan to do all this. I feel as though
It's a
they
product.
acknowledge the fact that the majority of us as people enjoy that type of stuff when it comes to negativity, drama. Naturally, people are drawn to that because I don't know why, but we are. And I
We
feel
have
as though people or the elite or whoever's up running, whatever kind of movie industry, music industry, they're just giving them what they know people want.
That's true.
And
It's a
and
profitable
just like me, I can't sit here and bring lullaby stories to this channel or nobody will watch it, I mean, they would, some would, but the majority of the people, they just want to hear the juicy good, I got, stabbings or whatever in prison.
and I
And
say I
that's how I feel. I feel like people think that it's kind of a brainwashing technique, and I thought like that as well. But at the same time, I feel as though they just know where the money is, and they're giving the people what they want. So
it's both.
really, I feel like it's just us as people wanting and desiring the wrong things.
And I respect that. I mean, I understand that. I think it's a hybrid between both.
Yeah,
I'm a realist, dog. I don't complicate things, homie. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, restless and wanting to complicate and distort reality because I'm bored. It's the opposite for me, bro. If it was that simple, if this was just how things developed because of this unsustainable, illogical way of life regarding mankind in general, we haven't evolved much. We keep recreating our past atrocities, war, going at each other's throats over assets, financial gain, materialistic bullshit. As and regarding mankind, our technology's progressed, but our moral compass, mentally, spiritually, we haven't advanced much. Now, I wish this was all just a product of like a coincidence, but check this out, man. Nothing, and this isn't something to dwell on. And I gotta cover this, homie. We don't dwell. We only reflect from time to time. So we're grateful, dog. So we're grateful for our freedom. We're grateful for our health, our sanity, and we don't get sucked into those traps. And we can continuously put the train back on the tracks and focus, homie, not only on what we possess internally, which I previously mentioned they don't want us aware of. You know what I mean? If you
yeah,
don't have a couple hundred grand in an account, then you just got nothing inside. But when we reflect on that, wait a minute, bro. What about our health and our freedom? What about peace of mind? What about purpose? Check this out. Nothing magically maintains itself forever, bro. This comes down to math. The resources aren't infinite, the planet's not invincible, and our population's ever increasing. So those people in major positions of wealth and power, they know. All right. This ain't something to dwell on. This is actually awesome, bro, because it means that this isn't just some playground and it's not meaningless. We're not just, entertaining ourselves and trying to satisfy our random impulses until we die some horrifying or meaningless death. No, bro, it's more important and more fulfilling and better than that. But there's a purpose to it. I mean, it's kind of go time right now. There are evil people in power. They will have to make moves soon to maintain their positions. Mathematically speaking, the resources aren't infinite, population's growing, and they won't relinquish to do what's sustainable for all. So they got to do the other. But we can stop them, man. It's not too late. I mean, we have to be the change our world requires. Ain't nobody's perfect, man. Sometimes in my videos, you'll see me literally smack myself, and then I'll be like, hey, man, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. I only smack myself every now and then to show that we don't have to be obsessed with our own personal comfort. If we come across a reality that's inconvenient to acknowledge, bro, we don't dwell. So why would we hesitate in acknowledging that? All it's going to do is liberate our minds and set us free and bring a purpose to our existence. We don't have to dwell on it. So nothing negative is going to manifest from it. You just don't have to be a part of that trap any longer. And by
Okay.
doing this,
Let me ask you something. You said our purpose for existence. That brings me into something else. And this is, when I hear people such as yourself that have a lot to say and they're speaking and articulating in a different manner from the normal average Joe walking down the street, I like to ask, what do you feel as though is our purpose or our existence? Do you believe in an ultimate being, ultimate creator? And just I know you might know my religious beliefs or you might not, but I just this is not a debate. This is just pure. I want to hear your side of, hey, what are we here for? What is the purpose of everything? And to you,
that's deep. I appreciate you asking that kind of a question, man. Check this out, man. I'm telling you, we've gone to war for centuries over beliefs and religion and division. And in my heart, bro, I've been walking with God for a minute now, man. You feel me? Now, I don't want to make anybody upset. I don't want to push anybody away from the idea of walking with God by saying that I'm not personally a Christian or I'm not personally a Catholic. I'm not, all right? I walk with God, homie. I exist for more than my impulses and desires. And every time I come across an inconvenient reality, I do my best to acknowledge that and internalize it. Nobody's perfect, but we're supposed to learn from our mistakes continuously instead of having pride and repeating them and rationalizing them. And my belief system helps me with that because I don't tell myself what I want to hear. Check this out, man. In the wilderness or in the mountains or in the woods, homie, in any natural region, there's going to be a pecking order. You feel me?
yeah,
There's a food chain, there's a pyramid, there's an apex predator, there's an alpha. Kids, bear with me, homie. Sorry about this, but it always ties in, always. Now, in any natural setting, in any plane of existence, regardless of what it is, there's going to be a pecking order. There's going to be a natural alpha or apex predator. Now, the scientific community has proven that there's multiple planes of existence. It's mathematically proven. There's more to this life than just what we see and touch. A lot of people say there's no God, you die and that's it. They're a little uncomfortable or they haven't stumbled upon a logical way of addressing God. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
There's more to this life. You know what I'm saying? And even in a spiritual plane, there's going to be a pecking order. There's going to be a pinnacle, an apex, a shot caller. Call it what you will, but regardless of our terminology, bro, God exists. And there's going to be evil too. I mean, it's just a natural order in any plane of existence or any setting. Why would it be different regarding the spiritual plane? And there's forms of energy the scientific community has admitted they can't comprehend or understand. They have studies where they play two forms of music. One form is classical music. The other form of music is death metal. They do this around plant life. The plants around the classical music will flourish and thrive. The plants around the death music will wither and die. The form of energy responsible for affecting the life of those plants cannot be labeled or
Explained.
there's so much more. And even scientists admit that. But our insecurities, our pride issues, they stop us from discovering and evolving. You know what I mean? From growing. Things make us uncomfortable. Things make us angry, man. We expect people to be identical to us and placate and pacify us. But that's not how we learn, bro. That's not how we evolve. That's not how we walk with God. We don't got to dwell on this shit, bro. We just reflect so we're not becoming a part of that problem. We're not trapped in that mental rut. You know what I'm saying? And we can continuously remind ourselves what we possess internally: health, freedom, purpose, peace of mind, genuine confidence. You know what's up.
Well, when it comes to God, you say you walk with God. Do you feel as though God is a positive and a negative, or strictly positive love, or what? Do you feel as though there's, certain characteristics to walking with God in your viewpoint? Like, is it doing good is good, or is doing
Yeah.
bad and good?
Yeah, I feel you. Is there a time for action? Is there a time for something that ain't all butterflies and sugar when it comes to God? Yeah, bro. And I'm glad you asked that question. God, to me, it's not positive. It's real. To me, God is real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And what does reality consist of? Accountability, responsibility,
being real.
being real. And it's more than just what we want. So the idea of repeating our mistakes and praying it away or performing mental cartwheels to justify that ain't. ain't gonna fly in real life, ain't gonna fly with God, bro. Ain't gonna fly with a natural pecking order in regards to a spiritual plane. There's repercussions. You know what I mean? When we knowingly do wrong, homie, and we repeat those mistakes over and over, there's a form of energy, in my opinion, affiliated with that accumulates and is possibly responsible for us transcending into a not so desirable plane. Hell, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know, different terminology, brother, but I got God in my heart, and it's not for me inconvenience. You know what I mean? It's reality, bro. It's, you know, I answer, homie, like, and I don't have conversations with a physical being. That's not God to me, homie. God is me acknowledging that there's more than me. God is acknowledging that life doesn't revolve around me and what I want. God is, to me, is acknowledging mathematics and reality, bro, and tying them in to have a better understanding or a more accurate viewpoint regarding life and what it consists of and what's expected of us. You feel me? It just
Yeah.
really ties into reality, man. Sustainability, solution, you know, not
Yeah.
repeating our mistakes.
Is this? I don't know too much about Scientology, but I've heard some things. Is it kind of go along the lines of what you believe in? Can you hear me?
I appreciate you asking that. Personally, I have been
Hang on
into a
1 second. You're
Scientologist
lagged
church.
out.
Yeah, I can hear, man.
There you go. There you go. You're good.
Thank God, bro. Digital mayhem, cybernetic ruckus.
Cybernetic ruckus.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Yo, I love it. All right, henceforth, my friend.
Thank you, brother. So I walked into this Scientologist church, and I was expecting all of them to be pretty crazy from what I had heard and seen like certain celebrities doing in regards to Scientology. And just like any other location, the individuals seemed pretty humble. They seemed pretty welcoming. They didn't seem too sinister or trying to push their ideals or beliefs on me. But I'm definitely not a Scientologist personally. But from what I've seen, there seems to be a positive aspect to almost everything, homie. But there seems to be a lot of like detriments or cons too, you know, and it's hard because we're divided as a society. And that's part of that design, homie, that I mentioned when it comes to those people in power. If we were to let go of the bullshit, the false entitlements, if we were to start simplifying life, we would unite and evolve alongside one another, bro.
Yeah.
Simple and plain. That's all it takes. We, the masses, have the numbers, but we're being trapped into glorifying the meaningless bullshit, and it's by that design. You know what I mean? That's what
Yeah.
stops us from uniting, and it maintains their power. But it's not. The fat lady hasn't sang yet, bro. And when it comes to spirituality and religion, man, I'm telling you, dog. Let's stop the division. I don't care what terminology somebody uses, whether they're a Christian or a Catholic or a Buddhist monk. You feel me? I've met some solid Buddhist monks, and I don't have a sane and sober family. You know what I mean? I've been left up to my own devices for quite some time, and that's one of those things I wanted people that I mentioned when it comes to reflecting. I mean, a lot of people have good fortune, bro. Now, whether it's the multi-millionaire trust fund baby that's handed millions, or whether it's somebody from the hood that has a welfare coming in $1,000 a month, maybe, we're encouraged to view that as nothing. The trust fund baby views it as an entitlement. The welfare, nah, I can't do anything with $1,000. It's disregarded as if it's nothing. But bro, not everybody has a sane and sober family, and not everybody receives $1,000 a month from the government. I don't receive any of those things. I have access to clean tap water and my freedom, bro, and I'm grateful for that. You know, I stopped robbing civilians after that armed robbery charge I caught and got to Juvenile Hall for. I stopped robbing civilians and I started robbing dope dealers. I felt it was more morally justifiable. They're poisoning the community, this and that. I mean, but then I started to realize, like, when you traumatize and terrify somebody, it's not really rational. Rational. B, bad things happen, you know, and things are out of control and they escalate. C, bro, we make mistakes, man. Who knows? A lot of people, bro, I've made mistakes. So how can I be so judgmental saying that fool deserves to get robbed because he's slinging when I've been doing that same shit at some point in my life? So I had to stop being a hypocrite. So I ended up facing that serious time in county jail in Ventura County, okay? Now, I'm red band to this day. I don't know about other jails, but in my county, if you're a violent offender, you're a red band, okay? In Ventura County. And then you're housed with the violent felons. And that's why I've been classified as a violent offender for years, even after going through that case and going in for violations. I'm always with the violent offenders, you feel me? And I'm used
Yeah.
to the petty violations I caught in the past. When I got a dry run, it was for like an 11,550 or something. I told you I was doing dope, you feel me? So if I go in there and I catch an 11,550, sometimes you're lucky they don't have time to get to your case file because they have so many cases to cover, and they shoot you missing complaints or dry runs, and you get lucky. You get out until they maybe shoot a warrant for your arrest or they catch back up to that caseload. Sometimes they never get around to it. A lot of times they'll refile on you. My county got a dirty way of doing it, bro. They'll shoot you a dry run or a missing complaint at times, and then if you run amok and you're in the fast lane, you got warrants for your arrest, you're on the run, then they'll refile on that bastard, almost as if they have like a telekinetic way of telling that you in the fast lane, pull your file from the like a past driver and be like, oh, we're gonna file on this just to pile them on. But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't want to get distracted, you know. The missing complaints, the dry runs, those were always for like simple shit. So when I went to court on this serious shit and I got that missing complaint or dry run, I was still scared, homie. Like my heart was still racing. I was like, nah, it's too good to be true. I went back, told my celly, he's a solid homie, night owl. You know what I mean? Much love and respect from Satakoy, homie. I don't know if you ever see this because he's doing all day, I think. Excuse me. But man, much love and respect, G. Because that fool right here, homie, he taught me,
Well,
man.
well, let me ask you this. I'm guessing, even in Ventura, the segregation was in there, correct?
Of course.
Uh, and I mean, how do you feel about the whole segregation thing in California? Do you feel as though it is
Oh man.
needed or good or negatively or tell me how you feel about the whole because this is California and like Arizona and some other places maybe not as strong as California, but they are segregated and the majority of the country is not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's bizarre, man. I had no idea till I started hearing other viewpoints and other perspectives from other states, other
Yeah,
people doing time, and learning like that. Damn, homie, they really like throw them together and shit, and they're really doing their time alongside one another. You know what I'm saying? They're not really divided to the fullest degree or extent. And over here, it's a lot of division, man. And regardless of why that happened, a lot of it, like I previously stated, ties into that design, corruption, maintaining power. It's very simple. It ain't a crushing, complicated conundrum, homie, or conspiracy, or nah, bro. You know what I mean? We reflect from time to time. We're aware, but we know why things are the way they are, dog. And I'm telling you, the division's part of that. That's how they maintain their power. If everybody's uniting and setting their differences aside and realizing that they share the same enemy, corruption, you know what I'm saying? Well, what happens? Solutions are formulated. They see it as a problem. They don't want unity. I mean, they really don't.
but do you feel as though it's a negative or positive?
If I feel like anything, if it's done in a logical fashion for what's right, it could be good. If it's done for reasons of corruption, homie, it's gonna be bad. These are reasons of corruption. That's why you hear about these gladiator matches. That's where you hear about, and this is what I want to get out the way real quick, dog. I know a lot of people might throw a fit because there's a lot of dropouts, there's a lot of rats, there's a lot of people, A lot of people might think, hey, bro, you were facing serious time at one point all day, possibly. I ain't gonna go into detail, you feel me? And I also don't want it to revolve solely around me and my personal experiences. That's part of it. Mainly it's out of logic, homie, and it's out of not being a detriment to your own freedom, bro, and not basically running your mouth and like not discussing too much. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I have to exhibit discipline. I like to be transparent, dog. I don't care about me or the perception or what people think. Well, I couldn't care less. I mean, that's some overgrown toddler bullshit. Who cares what people think? You know what I mean? But freedom, homie, that's serious. So, anyways,
Yeah,
when it comes to the PC and gladiator matches and shit, I'm telling you, bro, like it's corruption to the fullest degree. It's not okay to rat. It's not okay, bro. It's selfish. I mean, it's the definition of wrong. When we're doing crime or we're in the fast lane, even if it's somebody like myself who has no sane and sober family or foundation for success, we're left up to our own devices and we're encouraged to believe that we have nothing to lose. You feel me? Even then, man, it's a balance, bro. It's a balance, though. You know what I'm saying? But you can't
yeah,
rat. I mean, when you're knowingly choosing to be in that environment and you're committing crimes, you're doing things out of based on survival, you know the repercussions that come along with those decisions. So
yeah,
you're all right with it as long as it's your personal gain and you're liking the image it produces, or you're doing it based on survival, whatever the case may be, you're all right with it if it's revolving around you and convenience and satisfaction. But the minute we face repercussions, the minute it's time to follow through, you know what I'm saying, and be a man and accept the penalties that come along with our choices, no, we want to throw somebody under the bus. That's crazy. That's a definition of childish and pathetic. Nobody's perfect, bro. But we're not supposed to live for our mistakes. And we're not supposed to become them and rationalize them to the point of trapping ourselves in them. I mean, that's crazy. A mistake's a mistake. You feel me? And if you get busted, you get popped, you made a mistake, take the repercussions that come along with it. Don't be a selfish, overgrown toddler and a world destroying creep and start throwing your fellow man under the bus. Because guess what, homie? After somebody rats and throws somebody under the bus, do they change their life and their mindset and thought process? Do they fully evolve out of that and vow not to recreate their past atrocities? No. Come on, man. They just end up ratting a bunch and being a hypocritical creep. I mean, and an obstacle to the progress of mankind. That's what a rat is.
oh damn. Yeah, I think people are gonna enjoy this video, man.
hope so, man.
Let me ask you one more thing. One more thing, and I think I'm gonna be bringing you on more than once, man, because this is very entertaining to me and
Appreciate
knowledgeable. I like to hear other people's viewpoints. Before we talk about your prison channel. Before we talk about your YouTube channel and wrap it up, I want to ask you one question, man. What would you say was the wildest moment in your life, man? Scariest, wildest situation you might have ever came across out there in those dangerous streets in California?
it. Man, it's kind of hard to pick a certain scenario or obstacle to tell you the truth. The craziest, honestly, probably be when I was busted, to be honest with you, because we're all sober and coherent, at least to some degree, majority of us. We know dope gets into jail, so on and so forth, but people aren't slamming dope, smoking glass, pounding alcohol like they are on the streets. There's a lot more sobriety in jail, bro. And even though jail's not really solution based and it's corrupt to some degree, if we choose to be solution based and extract what we can extract out of that time, you can learn and evolve a lot of epiphanies go off. You know what I mean? It can be badass. You can make the best out of any circumstances, regardless. Only, you know what I'm saying? But we're not encouraged to kind of utilize logic and continuously evolve. That's not what we're encouraged to do in our society. But regardless, when it came to jail, everybody's sober and coherent. I used to tell homies, hey, bro, let's be honest with ourselves. If we weren't busted the times that we have been busted, we'd be dead by now. We need to be in here. Some always be like, what do you mean, dog? I'd be like, look at it, bro. If we weren't doing time every time we were down, right, and we were always out in the streets, we would have at least caught one to the head. We would have failed out on carga. We would be dead. This little forced accountability, this little forced health spa retreat, you know what I'm saying? It can be beneficial, but there's no reason for us to force ourselves to go through that. Instead of recreating for what's right out here, we can take what we learn from in there, the discipline, the appreciation for the paramount life aspects, and we can carry that out to here and run that program out here in a solution-based fashion. All the pros, but leave the cons, you feel me? But the craziest time, and it was crazy to me because I was in jail and everybody's sober, wearing ain't a bunch of fools slamming dope, loading up straps on a sick one pulling licks. So you would think that discipline, logic, bro, but it's a corrupt system, man. And you got a lot of people with pride issues and character defects. It is what it is. Division. So the craziest shit that I ever had, all the bullshit I had on the streets, it was probably in there, dog. And it was the toilets were malfunctioning, the plumbing's all messed up because the facility's supposedly sinking or whatever. It wasn't built right, or the foundation wasn't formed right, or whatever. So, anyways, the toilets are malfunctioning. There's human duty. I ain't trying to cuss, bro. I'm trying to have respect for your channel. There's human fecal matter spraying up out of the toilets. That toilets are emitting some insane noise, bro. It sounds like like that, dog. Like
That's scary as hell, man.
Scary as hell, homie. That's what I thought, bro.
Yeah.
So they're like steel elephants just erupting with rage. They're malfunctioning with the plumbing and the what have you. There's duty all over the place. And then right when this shit's happening, it was happening from time to time, the plumbing malfunctions. But this was the worst one, dog. There was duty all over. My celly fell not too long ago, trying to crack some stupid joke. This is getting a little off track, but it sets the theme, right? My celly, just before all this shit pops off, there's duty on the floor. This fool's joking. We're kind of conditioned to it. We try to do what we can to unplug the toilet or keep it, simmer down, homie, and dormant. It's crazy. But this fool goes to crack some joke where they're not paying attention. Then I hear something fall, and I turn around, and I think he was reaching for his comb or something that he dropped, but he slipped, and he fell, and he's flopping around in the duty, dog. There's duty all flopping around like a shit-covered marlin, homie. Excuse my language, bro.
Oh, damn.
I look outside my cell window, and
you ain't laugh at him or nothing?
At this point, I'm probably assuming I laughed at him a little bit, but you kind of lose your sanity to some degree, and it can be in a good way when you're in there, but you gotta, you get conditioned to doing time and seeing duty and have another man taking shit around you and all this shit. So it's just like, man, this is chaos, but I live in a closet with a toilet, so what do I expect? You know what I'm saying? So I look out the cell window and all shit starts popping up, and a less lighthearted topic. It's a war, it's guerra, and it's between races. I don't even want to go into detail because I don't want this video to.
Yeah, I don't want it to be about that type of genre either. But
yeah.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. Let me tell the people the name of your channel. And I'm glad I found it because I like to hear this type of stuff and hear people's viewpoints. Go ahead and tell them a little bit about your channel really quick and the channel name. And also wrap it up with maybe a little positive piece that you could give to anyone out there.
Yeah, I got you. And I appreciate your time and energy. I got to clarify, we're not entitled to nothing, man. This is an opportunity, not just for me, my own personal growth or whatever, more importantly, to relay reality, to stop world destroying cycles. My channel's name is Caster, aka Badman. Caster, aka Badman. Okay. And my allergies are a little crazy, so I mean sounding like Aaron Neville at times, man. It's crazy as hell.
You good? You good?
But in all reality, I'm gonna leave people with this, bro. Don't let them take what you possess internally away from you, bro. Not only our health, not only our freedom, and that's a lot. Don't think that you need what this society encourages to be content, to have a purpose, bro. It's quite the opposite. All them celebrities, all that bullshit you see people obsessing over, are simulating confidence with. You don't need that, bro. We have internally what we require, and there's no substitute for genuine confidence and a solution-based point to our existence. That's real shit, homie.